What's going on, guys? We got another Throne and Liberty video for you guys today. In this one, we're going to go over the Cave of Destruction and showcase all of the mechanics and possible mistakes that you guys could be having while you're trying to clear this dungeon. Now, right now, we're just going to DPS the boss down, and we'll go ahead and get to the very first mechanic, and then we'll showcase the second mechanic. This boss only has two mechanics, and the first one's simple, the second one's harder. Now, right here's how you know the first mechanic's coming up. The thing starts to yell, and then you have the text on your screen. So you want to start running up there right away. As you saw, the egg hatches, and then there's a chance that an ant spawns from it. If an ant doesn't spawn from it, then you're going to have to run over one of those other pillars and kill it as fast as possible, because the boss is untargetable during this time. And once you kill that ant, the boss will fall back down, and you can resume DPSing it. Now that's the easy one. Now this is the harder mechanic right here. On this mechanic, the boss will shoot out some larvas that'll attach to you. And this larva, you then need to bring it to your teammates. As you see, I bring it to them. Then they change color. You bring it to the next one. It changes color. And you keep doing that to all of your teammates. As you see right here, if you don't do it, it starts to turn red. And it will eventually explode and do massive damage. But if you do it properly, as you see right here, nobody took any damage. The larvas did not do any problems at all. So that's how we do that one. And again, since this is the harder mechanic, let me go ahead and showcase it again. See, right now, we're not together. We got to get together. It changes colors to green. That means we're both cured. Now I got to hurry up and get to my other teammates because they don't know what they're doing. I hurry up and cure that guy. I cure that one. And at the last second, I cure the final teammate just in time. If any of those guys did not get cured, with the amount of HP they had, they would have blown up and died immediately. So the larva phase is where you guys will wipe. Now here's a run in which you do it incorrectly. If you guys are all stacking up, it's really hard to tell if you guys have been cured or not. So there might be one person in there who's not cured, but if you guys are all stacked up on each other, I think the game either glitches a little bit or something, but it's a little bit hard to tell. So I recommend just spacing out a little bit so you can 100% guarantee that you are cured. It just makes it a lot more consistent rather than having everybody stack up 24/7. Because you don't want to have a wipe like that. Now, a mistake that you could have on the first phase is going too fast. So this is the first phase right here. We know we have to run to this egg immediately. So if you run over here too fast, look at that egg. It pushed me away. What you need to do is stay down a little bit and then climb up. If you go too fast, it will push you off. If you're lucky, you can fly back onto it just like I did. But there's plenty of times if you go too fast, you will die. And that's pretty much the whole entire dungeon, guys. If you want to go ahead and replay that, then you guys can go ahead and replay whichever part. I recommend studying that first larva scene. It's very, very helpful. If you guys want to stick around, I'm going to narrate this full fight and explain what's going on throughout the whole entire fight as well. But if you guys just want to focus on the mechanics, go ahead and scroll on back in the video and rewatch. Specifically that larva phase, in my opinion. That's the real one. But yeah, a good tip for that larva one is, like I said, just spread out for it. If you guys are all clumped up, it's really hard to tell. If one guy doesn't have the thing cured, then it could wipe the whole entire raid. Now, anyways, let's go ahead and start narrating this one. Now right here, you guys are just DPSing the boss. You just simply DPS it. I got a pretty good party on this one. We're doing massive damage. A lot of times I get to parties and it takes me a long time, so this is probably the best party I've ever had. Now in the very first phase, we start running over to the little mountain right here. You got to be careful because on that part, the little ledges, you get stuck. As you see, my teammate, they got pushed off and they died. The reason why they got pushed off again is because they were too fast. That's why I needed to make this video, so that way you guys understand what's going on in this dungeon. So if you're a little too fast, you're going to get pushed off. Unfortunately, if you don't know that, you're not going to understand that, and you're going to be like, what the heck was that glitch? Now, something I forgot to mention earlier was that, what was that right there? Did you see that red pulse that came out right there? That red pulse happens because the boss is aggroing somebody who's out of its range. So, if if you go back on that part of the video, you'll see that the boss was actually targeting me for a second. And since I'm out of range, it pulsed and did AoE damage to the raid. So make sure your tank is on the boss at all times. Now again, we went over this larva phase. The larva phase is very difficult, and I'm really glad that I got this recorded because that was the most textbook way of doing that. Not one person on my team understood that mechanic at all, and it's a very difficult mechanic to explain, so sometimes it's easier just to say, all right, I'm going to do it, just stay close to me, don't run away from me, and let me cure you. That's a good way to do it, or have two people on the curing duty. But regardless, try to figure out a good method for you guys to be able to get everyone cured. Now, once we clear that one, we just go ahead and cycle back down to the first phase. On the first phase again, we just have to go run and kill that ant. Kill that ant as fast as possible. During this phase, your healer should be keeping up on those heals because the boss is going to be AoE shooting a poison bomb at all of you guys that does massive, massive damage. As you see, our healer is really good. They drop down that big AoE heal, keep this all topped off. Another thing I forgot to mention is your potions down here. Make sure you're using those potions. Help out your healer, guys. Whenever you start to get low, go ahead and press F1, F2. Heal yourself up. Use your attack potions. Use your defense potions. All that stuff helps. Now right here, we're going to go ahead and clear the poison, the larva. I got stuck there, which scared the crap out of me. Had to hurry and run to the next guy. If you see they start to turn red, that means they're close to exploding. I luckily got to that guy just before it exploded. If I was 1 second late, that guy would have died 100%. But once I saved him, I knew this raid was in the bag. We would be able to take him down. I keep saying raid, it's a dungeon, but you know what I mean. But yeah, we just keep doing that, And this video right here just goes to show you, even if your whole entire party does not know what's going on in this raid, as long as you yourself know what's going on, you can carry this raid single-handedly. Granted, my guys, they all did good damage and good healing. They do have to still do that, but not one of them understood that larva mechanic. Not one of them even moved, which one guy was even running away from me at one point, which was freaking me out. But we got it. We're going to run up here, kill this little ant. I got pretty lucky with these ant spawns. A lot of times the ants spawn away from you. So I got pretty lucky. Didn't have to run. And just got to DPS this ant down. And we will take him down eventually. If you see that big AoE circle right there, try to walk into that. That's your healer's massive AoE heal. I don't know the name of that ability, but it gives you massive health and massive mana. So always, if you see that little circle, run into it, please. Now you see right here, I'm popping all my pots because we're almost done. I don't want to freaking die right here. You saw that big pulse right there? The boss was focusing me, I think, again. Now you hear it starting to do that words. That means it's shooting out the larva. I'm panicking a little bit. I'm like, do we DPS? Do we finish it off? And we finish it off while the larvas are still on us. Our health is still ticking down. The healer stopped healing. And now we're going to die because the healer stopped healing. No, just kidding. We're all good. It didn't take any damage. And then we got a nice purple bracers of the Primal King. Not too bad, not too terrible. I'm happy. I needed some good accessories anyway. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next dungeon guide. Peace.